Hi, I'm Sandy Zuniga, the founder of Colorado Springs Town Tidings. Be in the know on the go for all things Colorado Springs, delivered right to your inbox. Today, in our local business spotlight, I'm happy to introduce Halie Scarola, the creative force behind LemonTwist Cakes and Bakes. Known for its one-of-a-kind designs, Hailey has turned her passion into a way to bring joy to families across Colorado Springs. Beyond her stunning creations, she also gives back to the community, baking for nonprofits like Icing Smiles to support families with critically ill children. Let's dive into her story and the magic behind her cakes and cookies. Welcome, Hailey.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Oh, we're so glad to have you. So let's start off by just kind of give me a little history. Are you um, Colorado native or Colorado Springs native or something else?
Yep, I am a Colorado Springs native. Actually, I was born and raised, never left the area. I've been in Falcon and Colorado Springs my whole life.
Nice.
Yes.
And so growing up, you like to bake or what was up with that?
Growing up, I've always been really creative, really crafty. Pretty much anything that's crafty or creative, it's kind of just my thing. And then when I grew up, I started getting into like accounting and things like that. And then it brought me for full circle, and I just created my baking business.
So if you got into accounting, then that means you can at least do your own books.
I do. I do my own books. That's correct.
Look at you, you're all around awesome in general. So good
Yes.
for you. So when you graduated, what high school did you graduate from?
I actually graduated from two. I graduated from Vista Ridge as well as Falcon.
Oh, really?
Yes.
How do you graduate from two high schools?
So I know it's a very weird situation. I have two diplomas. It's because I went to Vista Ridge, but then I finished so I could finish early. So I finished online on Falcon as well. So I wanted to finish early and just get right to living my life and being out of high school. So that's what I did.
Nice. I was going to say, do you have some kind of split yourself machine or something that we don't know about?
You you would think I actually get that all the time.
That is funny. So
Yeah.
then you finished early. Obviously, you're ambitious and you kind of knew what you wanted. What did you do after high school?
I've worked in the medical field and the accounting fields, and then I went full throttle into being a mom and a wife, and that kind of brought me to starting my home baking business. Everyone just kind of started telling me, like, when I make cookies and cakes for my kids' events, they're like, "Okay, you've got to sell these. I want to order from you." And then I was like, "Well, I have a little baby," and then as soon as I started my business, I was getting like 3 orders a week, so it just kind of took off.
Oh, nice. Well,
Yeah.
you also know a lot of people since this is where you grew up. So
Yes.
not like you were starting from zero, but
Right.
obviously you had to have some amazing things. But you didn't go directly into the baking or a wife. You also had um, a different career path, right?
Yes. hmm Yep.
Tell
So
me more about
I
that.
I worked in the medical field. I did a lot of front desk and a lot of like billing and coding and things like that in the medical field. Then I got a second degree in accounting and bookkeeping. And so I started doing that through the medical field and then also for some landscaping and concrete companies. And then in between all of that, I started my baking as well.
Okay. And so you've got a couple of degrees. Where'd you go to college?
Colorado Technical University.
Cool.
Yep.
You just stayed very close to home, which is awesome.
Yeah, I don't like to leave Colorado, honestly. I don't even like to travel. Like I'm happy where I am, where I know everything is, and I'm good.
I hear you. How old are your children now?
So I have an almost 6-year-old and a 1.5-year-old.
Oh, wow. You've got your
Yes,
hands full and a
I
husband,
do.
which
And a husband. So
sometimes,
basically three.
yeah,
Exactly.
you said it, not me.
It's true. It's true. Yes.
Well, great. And I bet you everybody loves your baked goods.
Oh yes. Yeah, I get it all the time. Even people who say like I get the comment all the time. I don't even like sweets and I love your desserts. Like I can't stop. I'm like, "Good, keep on coming then."
Awesome. And now that since you're a Colorado Springs native, you know the climate, the altitude issues, even though maybe in Colorado Springs not as much as up in the mountains, and the lack of humidity, that all affects baking. So,
Absolutely.
any tricks or tips for anybody out there who's baking in Colorado Springs that come to mind?
I mean, for me, honestly, what I've learned is every single oven is different. So, yeah. So, honestly, like what you might find with one oven or in one house, you need to totally change your temperatures and your times in another. And so, sometimes it takes a little bit of like getting used to one house versus another. And I've moved around a lot in within the Springs area. So, every time I move houses, I have to change all of my recipes
Oh
based
boy.
on that specific oven because some bake hotter, some one side might be hotter than the other. So having like a specific thermometer within your oven really helps. So that's one of the biggest things for me.
So it's more of the oven than the ingredients you found.
Yeah, yeah, and honestly, it kind of depends on what you're baking. So, like when I'm making macarons, humidity is your like arch nemesis. So, luckily here we don't have to worry about it as much. But if you're baking on like a hotter day versus a colder day, you kind of have to just keep the outside temperature in mind because your buttercream is going to go really soft very quickly when you're doing cakes. So, luckily, the humidity, I mean, humidity is more of like an arch nemesis when it comes to baking than us having the dry climate. So I'm really thankful it's dry here.
Great. So what do you do
Yes.
with your buttercream when it's a hot day? Because we are now in the warmer season.
I crank up the AC and refrigerators and freezers are your best friend because I literally have to put my cakes in refrigerators in between each step to make sure everything's like solid and ready for the next step.
Right. Okay, well, those are great tips for
Yes,
anyone baking at home and stuff. So thanks for those.
absolutely.
Now, I've seen some of your cakes. They are ridiculously amazing. Just, I
Thank
mean,
you.
they really look like uh, my husband and I watch the home baking championships, the Food Network, all
Uh-huh.
the time. And I swear, Haley, I looked at your stuff and I'm like, why is she not on there?
I know people have told me that. And I'm like, I'm just not that good. But yes, I love it all. I just every single cake I make, I'm like, this might be my new favorite one.
Not that good. Oh my goodness. Okay, we got to work on your confidence
I
because
know.
I mean, the ones I saw were great, but the one that stood out the most, do you know which one that was?
Which one?
The Dr. Pepper.
I know. Wasn't that so cool?
OMG.
Yes, I love the Dr. Pepper one.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go ahead and put that in your spotlight because it was defying gravity and it was just so professionally done. Haley, I'm telling you, you can compete with anybody from what I saw. So
Well, thank you.
put in that application.
I know, I really should. One of these days, maybe when my kids are a little older.
Well, I think it takes a while, so you might want to start now and maybe
That's
when
true.
they're 10, you'll get on
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
All right. So, what's the most meaningful cake you've ever created and what made it so special for you or your recipient?
I think the most meaningful one that I've created is probably I made a mermaid cake for Icing Smiles, which is a nonprofit that I work with a lot, because they support children with critically ill and chronically ill diseases and things going on, as well as their families. So when you receive like it's called a call to action when they're contacting you that they have a family who needs a cake or cookies. When you receive one, you can accept the information and you create a custom one of a kind cake for the child or a family member. And I just think that's so special because I don't feel a cake is just a cake. I feel like a cake truly can make like the memory for not only children, but us adults as well. And I think it just can make an event So I feel like if I can do a beautiful special cake for a family and it's one less thing they have to worry about when they have so much going on with an ill child, it's just so special. So I did get a call to action for a mermaid cake for a little girl, and I got to hand it over to the family, and they sent me a picture of her just lit up and so happy.
Oh,
And so it just made me so happy that I could do that for her birthday.
oh wow. And
Yes.
I do agree, especially, for you as a mother and,
Yes.
being heart-centered and an amazing baker, that seems like the perfect place for you to also give back.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
I think you landed well there.
Yes, I love the organization and I just love to be able to anytime I can help someone, I just think it's a beautiful way to help somebody. Even though it seems so simple and so small, it can really change someone's day around. So I love it.
Absolutely. And I agree. As we get older, it's birthdays don't mean much, although they should, because everyone we get is another blessing.
Right.
We're like,
It's
okay,
true.
we got
You're not promised tomorrow. You never know. So for sure.
exactly. So actually, as we get older, we should be um, more excited about them, or whatever. Yay, I got up today, and
Right.
of another year.
I know. Or I got through something else to get me to today. There we go.
Right. And so for me, as I get older, it's all about the cake. Not presents, not this, not. It's something that I can consume. If it's yummy and enjoyable, then
Yes.
there you go. That
Yep.
makes the birthday. But that's me personally.
Yeah, well, and when you get older, you don't want more stuff anyway. You can just
Right,
enjoy it right there. You don't need any more stuff in your house, and you're
right,
happy.
right. You consume it, you're good, and then next
Then
year
you're
you get
done.
another one. It's
Start
all about
over.
the cakes. Yeah, it's all about
Agreed.
So I know you're known for never fully replicating another baker's work. Can you
Correct.
share how you balance customer expectations with your creativity when designing of one of a kind piece?
Absolutely. So I always tell my customers I'm very open, very honest with my customers right from the get-go. I love accepting themes and inspiration pictures, but I will never 100% replicate another baker's cake just because I feel like we're all in this industry being creative, and I think every baker deserves to have their own cakes be their own cakes. And I don't think another baker should come in and replicate those. So I'm just open and upfront with all of my customers right away. And I say, listen, that is a beautiful piece. I love inspiration pictures. Part of my creative process is going directly from the theme and taking it and running, or going through inspiration pictures and kind of mushing them up together and creating a one of a kind piece from there. So that's just kind of where I start from. I've never had anyone complain about it, and people are usually like, "Oh, I'm so glad I've just let you run with it because it's beyond what they expected." So I appreciate, and that's just kind of my customer base. And if it's someone who wants something 100% replicated, then I just explain I'm not the baker for you because I'm just not willing to do it, unfortunately.
Right. So if they come and say, "Hey, I want this cake," you go, "Great, love the picture, and I'm going to use it as inspiration, and I'm going to give you
Right.
something amazing."
Exactly. I'm like, I love the inspiration pictures. Keep them coming if there's even more. I will not 100% replicate a photo, but I'd be happy to do something similar. So,
So what if somebody wanted, like you, I know you did the Elsa cake. So
mhm.
here's a Disney character, and it was beautifully done, and it looked like her. So something like that, you kind of have to match.
So that actually was just for my daughter, one of my daughter's best friends. It was for her birthday. And her mom always orders all of the family's cakes for me, and she just gives me a theme and I do it. And so she's like, again, we're doing Elsa and Frozen. I'm like, okay, I've got you. And I actually created that design all on my own and I just kind of went with it. So,
So
yep,
even though it was like a spot-on replica of Elsa, it was the whole theme itself that
right,
was yours.
right.
Okay, so
Exactly.
if they want a themed event and it's something of a particular character, actor, or whatever, um, I mean, if somebody wants Spider-Man, you can't give them, I don't know, Beetle Boy.
Yeah, yeah. I 100% go based off the theme. So if they want Spider-Man, they're getting Spider-Man. I just won't do the exact Spider-Man cake they might have found online. Like I'm going to change some things and kind of make it unique and not just unique for my company, but unique for them because they you want a unique cake too. It doesn't need to be the same cake that Johnny had from across the street. Like it you deserve to have your own exact cake for you.
Or it doesn't need to be, you know, not throwing shade, but doesn't mean need to be something you ordered from King Supers.
Right. That too. Yes. Exactly.
That has its time and a place, but that's not
Yep.
you.
Yep. Nope. Exactly. And that's part of the reason I really strive to stay very affordable for all my customers. Because I understand why people need to go to big box stores and things like that. But honestly, when people contact me for quotes and prices, they're shocked that they can afford what I'm offering as well. And they get such quality for what I offer.
Oh, great. So what's you're gonna like this question. What's the wildest or most unconventional theme you've been asked to bring to life in a cake or cookie form?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't had super crazy unconventional ones, honestly. Like I get some that want to mash up. Like I'm about to do a cake that she wants a Barbie and an Elsa mashup. So I'm gonna do like a mashup of both princesses and things like that. I haven't gotten anything super crazy. I did get a vasectomy cookie order. So that
There
was
you
kind of an exciting thing to do. I was like, okay, I'm going with that, but I haven't had anything super off the wall yet.
I have to ask, what did you do with that?
She wanted me to make it funny, so I did like peanut ones that said like no more nuts and I just went with it. It was really she was like laughing so hard and she loved it so much. It was great.
So the cookies were clean,
Yep.
you know,
Yep.
but with a funny twist, so you didn't have to go outside your comfort zone.
Correct. Yeah.
I love that. I wonder if you had a picture of those.
I do. It's actually on my page in the cookies section, so you could look at that
Okay.
too.
I'm gonna have to go ahead and look at that.
Yes, yes.
So what are your most favorite flavors to make?
Shocker is lemon. My favorite is lemon. I mean, lemon twist, but it is lemon. My lemon cakes are just so good. My most popular lately has been strawberry. I had 4 strawberry cakes last week alone for orders. So strawberry's been one of the number ones. And then I've been told my chocolate is just really good. So those are some of my favorites.
What do you pair your strawberry with? Like what ice kind of icing?
My regular, just vanilla buttercream is to die for. Some people do get some strawberry filling in between the layers as well. So they'll do like a strawberry cake, strawberry filling, and then the vanilla buttercream, and it's really good together.
Okay. Well, I know
Hmm.
there's a difference for me and my husband too. We it's great that a cake looks good, but it's more important to us that it tastes good.
Tastes good.
So if we can get both of them in one, then we're good. In
Yep.
any dessert, but like even for our wedding and stuff, we had to go to
Yes.
different places to taste, and it's like, okay, whatever you do design wise, here's it was a fall theme or whatever. But it's like if I we go there and your cake tastes yucky, we don't
Or
even show
dry? Yeah, yeah,
up.
no. I'm very, very stickler on my cakes have to be beautiful, but they have got to taste good. And everyone has come to me and said that. They're like, okay, it was beautiful, but like it tasted so good. I've even had people come to me and beg me for my recipes. And I'm like, no, sorry, I can't do that. But
Proprietary.
I know I'm like, I'm not going to do that right now, but thank you for the compliment. I appreciate it.
But now they know also one of the secrets is to know your oven.
It's true. It's very important. Pay attention to that oven, and you will learn very quickly, if you have the patience, what settings to do for your oven.
Right. So give us an idea of what type of things you do. We know you do cakes and custom cakes, which are
Yes.
awesome.
Hmm.
You do some cookies and tell us what
Do.
else you do.
So two main ones are cakes and cookies. I also do pop-ups sometimes. So like this weekend I'm doing a pop-up and I'm doing some macarons with that and some fresh gluten-free banana bread. And then I do cake pops and cupcakes and all sorts of just like different treats and things like that for birthday parties. So it kind of just depends on the order I get of what additional things might go with that.
So you can do more than just cakes. You're not a one-hit wonder on the
Right.
cakes.
Right. That's
Awesome.
correct. Cakes are my favorite. They've got my number one spot in my heart, but I also do all the other fun things too.
Right. How about like with cupcakes? Do you treat them as a mini cake or are they kind of like
So
a
it
bunch of
depends. It depends on the budget. Like I said, I really like to stay affordable. So like if someone wants a cake and cupcakes, we kind of start that conversation of this is where my price starts and it can go up from there. So if they want, some of my customers like to provide their own toppers and make it different that way, and some like me to do it all from the bottom up. So it just kind of depends, but I do always make sure they're not just a cupcake like from a store. I like to tie them in with like different chocolates and things like that that match like the theme of the party.
Okay, so from cakes and cupcakes, you prefer to do cakes.
I
And you
do.
can do cupcakes, I mean, obviously.
Yes. Yes. Yep. I prefer cakes. It's just more of like the wow factor. So I really enjoy the wow factor that people can get from cakes.
Awesome. So you say you do some pop-ups?
Yes.
How often do you do them and kind of where do they come? I know pop-ups are supposed to be secret until they pop
So,
up.
yeah, so I mean, I'm doing one at our community garage sale this weekend. So it just kind of depends. As for pop-ups, usually I'll do more like shows and things like that, like craft shows and things like that coming for the fall and winter time frame. But I like to do like a summer one. I did a summer one last year as well, and then I'm doing this weekend, I'm doing a little pop-up. I don't do them super often just because I'm so full with my custom orders. But every once in a while, if I get like invited to an event or I have time to fit in an event, then I'll do them there.
Right. So this is going to publish after this weekend. However, I think you got some stuff you can kind of give us a sneak peek on some of the things
Yes.
you have.
Yes, I'm working on some cookies for the pop-up for this week.
Okay.
And so like one of them is this
Oh, how
donut.
cute.
I know, I love the donuts. They're so cute. And then I've got like this little donut guy.
Oh, wow. So they're not cronuts or whatever. They're
Yeah,
actually
straight
cookies.
donuts,
It
old
looks like
style donuts. And then I'm working on some of the coffee cups to go with coffees and donuts.
oh, how cute.
Yeah, and
Wait,
then I'm in
so
the,
are the donuts that you showed, are those cookies or donuts?
they're cookies.
Okay.
Yep, they're cookie donuts.
You had me confused
I
there.
know, I know. And then I've got like this guy that I'm working
Oh
on.
my goodness, how
So,
cute.
yeah, so I'm work those are not all finished yet, but they're
Right.
kind of a work in progress.
Right, you gave us a sneak peek. We love sneak peeks.
Yes.
And you get to show us right there. I think you're working on a cake, but that's probably in the refrigerator right now.
Yes, it is. Yes.
Because we talked about buttercream.
Uh-huh. Yep, it is in the fridge currently
What
cooling.
what's the theme for that?
So that is actually for a military retirement party. So I've got that one going. And then I just had one go out right before our interview. That's Ferrero Rocher chocolate,
Okay,
like
good.
with the gold theme in it. So those were really cool.
Oh, cute. Did you take those little candies and put them on?
I did,
Of
yes. It
course
was
you
for a
did.
number, it was for a 7-year-old's birthday. And so I did a number seven shaped cake. And then she
Oh,
got really fancy cupcakes with hers too. So all the cupcakes had the little Ferrero Rocher and then edible gold chocolate diamonds on there too.
oh wow.
Yes.
So the military retirement, you said?
Hmm.
Um, what are you doing for that one in general? Just because we have a lot of military in the area.
Yeah, I
So
can actually walk out and show a sneak peek of it as
okay.
well.
This way
Um,
we give them an idea because if they want one for themselves.
Absolutely. Yeah. So it's red and white striped with a blue drip. Um, I really love my chocolate drips that I do. So
Oh, wow. That is beautiful.
thank you. Yeah. So that one's not quite done yet, but that will
Right.
be completed later today as well.
Wow, that is amazing. And your
Thank
drips
you.
perfect.
I've perfected my drips. I pride myself on my drips for sure.
Yeah. And those lines, from what I could see, were perfectly straight.
Yes.
Oh my
Yes.
goodness, Haley, you have got to go on the baking championship.
I
I
know.
mean,
I know.
there are people on there that aren't even half as good as that. So
Well, thank
I don't
you.
want to
Thank you.
hear it. I don't want to hear it. I'm not good enough, whatever. You just fill out that application.
Well, hey, if I ever make it onto one of those shows, then you're the first one who saw me and did my first interview. So there you go.
I knew you went. Don't forget us little
That's right.
people.
I will not forget. I'll give you a shout out.
Cool. Yeah, because I was thinking military, maybe it was going to be um, camouflage or something like that. But because we're also, I'm assuming, coming into 4th of July, that's a perfect 4th of July cake as well.
It would be, yes, for sure.
Wow. And it at least gives our viewers an idea of,
Oh, yeah,
you're a real person, you're real baking, you got amazing products, and
100%.
yeah, all of that's
All
important.
real, all real.
So thank you for showing that. I really appreciate that.
Of course, yes. I love my cakes. I'll show them anytime. They make me
Yes.
happy.
Awesome. So, where can people find you?
So I have a Facebook page called LemonTwist Cakes and Bakes. That's the main place that I'm at. I have lots of raving reviews on there that you can always check out. Lots of albums with all the pictures of my different creations as far as cookies, cakes, all that fun stuff are there. So you can always find me on LemonTwist Cakes and Bakes on Facebook.
Great. And then how about if for some reason, not saying that it does at times, but if Facebook goes down, how
I
else can they find you? Or how
so
else can
I
they communicate with you?
Yeah, that is actually the only form of contact I have right now. But if you are a customer that you've like messaged me on Facebook, I have a full invoice form where I collect all of your information as far as email, phone numbers, all of that, so that I make sure that I have a way to contact you and you have a way to contact me should anything ever happen.
Okay.
So, yep.
So no email address or anything we can give anybody to if they wanted to get
I
some cakes.
do. I have an email. I don't know it off the top of my head. I only use it to send invoicing out. But I can get
Okay.
that to you later too.
Yeah, get that to me and
Yeah.
then I'll just put there again, Facebook's been having a few hiccups lately. So I
Yeah.
don't want anybody to miss out on possibly contacting
Absolutely.
you if they go ahead. I mean, we just never know what's going to happen with technology. It's
It's
just
true. That is why I always
like
get more forms of contact because I'm like, I'm not messing with Facebook.
that.
I don't trust it.
Right, exactly. So anything else you want to share with our viewers or listeners?
I mean, the biggest thing is I'm just a stay-at-home mom who loves baking. I love creating one-of-a-kind fun creations for everyone with every budget for every occasion. I pride myself on keeping myself very affordable for everyone, but I just feel like everyone deserves like a showstopper cake for their events, and that's just what I do. And I love to create all the fun desserts and cakes and things like that.
Great. And then, even though we touched on it a little bit, most of the cakes are birthday. Is, what are other occasions that you do just to give them an idea?
Yeah, gender reveal cakes are probably my all-time favorite cakes to make. I love doing gender reveal cakes for people. I just love being part of that special moment for people. Baby showers, bridal showers, bachelorette parties, birthday parties, retirement parties, small weddings. Really, you can get a cake for any theme or occasion. I do teacher appreciation cakes for like my daughter's school, things like that. So you really, I feel like I've even done just because cakes. So there was no occasion. They just ordered it just because they wanted a cake. So really, you can have a cake for any reason that you want.
Okay. So if you can dream it,
You can
or
have it.
somebody can dream it, you can have it. Yeah.
Exactly.
Haley
Yep.
will make it for you.
That's right. I'm here.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing uh, your passion and also giving us a sneak peek. That was just, it's special, that we get to see that.
Absolutely.
So thank you.
Yes. I love it. You're welcome. Thank you so much for having me.
Great. Well, thanks for tuning in to this episode of our local business spotlight. A big thank you to Halie Scarola of LemonTwist Cakes and Bakes for sharing her inspiring story and incredible talent with us. If you're craving more local stories and want to stay in the know, sign up for Colorado Springs Town Tidings at cos.towntidings.com, your go-to source for everything happening in Colorado Springs. This is your host, Sandy Zuniga, and until next time, stay connected and support local.